Hello, everyone. I hope you've accessed your Analyzing Hydrates notes, and by now I hope you know how to name the hydrates and to write formulas for them. So I'm going to show you what we would do in the lab and how you would analyze a hydrate to figure out what its formula is. So we would take a small sample of a particular hydrate, we would get the mass of it, we would heat it until it is completely dry, driving off all of the water molecules that are attached to it over a very high flame. We would get the mass of it again, and what would be left over would be called the anhydrous salt. Anhydrous meaning without water, and the ionic compound is a salt. There's many different kinds of salts other than table salt that we are so used to. That is often called the dry sample. Then we subtract the mass of this dry anhydrous salt from the mass of this wet hydrate to figure out how much water was driven off, and we would get the mass of that. Then we're going to do some math to figure out the mole ratios of the anhydrous salt and the water and figure out what the formula is and name it. So you'll need a periodic table and a calculator at this time. So here's some data from a pretend lab. Say that we've got 10.407 grams of our hydrated barium iodide. We're going to heat it until it's dry. We're going to then weigh that dry sample, and it will have a mass of 9.520 grams, and we'll determine the formula and the name of that hydrate. So the first thing that we are going to do is take mass of hydrate, which is 10.407 grams, subtract off the mass of the anhydrous or dry sample, which is 9.5 grams. Plus the mass of water that was evaporated. And that comes out to be 0.887 grams. So we are interested only now in this anhydrous salt and our water that was evaporated away. So the formula for barium iodide is BaI2. And of course, water, H2O. How do I know barium iodide is BaI2? Because barium has a positive 2 charge. The iodide has a negative 1, and we would need 2 iodides to have a neutral ionic compound. So the first thing we do is we take the 9.520 grams barium iodide. We are going to convert it into moles. 1 always goes with the mole. We need to divide by the molar mass of barium iodide. In our formula, we have one barium, and we look up the atomic mass of barium, 137.3 on the periodic table. And 1 times 137.3 is 137.3. For iodine, we have 2. And the mass of iodine is 126.9. And that multiplied by 2 is 253.8. Of course, we are going to add these two numbers. And this gives us 391.1 grams of barium iodide. Okay, so once we get our trusty calculator out, this comes out to be 0.0243 moles of barium iodide, the dry sample. Now we're going to do the same kind of a conversion with the amount of water that was evaporated away. We have 0.887 grams of water multiplied by 1 mole divided by, now we need to figure out what the molar mass of water is. We have 2 hydrogens, and the atomic mass of hydrogen from the periodic table is 1.0. Times 2 is 2. And we have 1 oxygen, and its mass is 16.0. And this adds up to 18.0 grams water for the molar mass. Okay, and that's the number we're going to divide by. So when we put this into our calculator, we get 0.0493 moles of water. Now that we have these two values, do you remember what we do? We're going to divide by the smallest answer. So this is going to give us 1 barium iodide. Now, the smallest answer, whenever you're working with these hydrates, is always going to be the anhydrous salt. And we're going to have anywhere from 1 to 10 water molecules. And it just so happens that it works out to be 2 water molecules. So, what will be our formula? BaI2. Two H2O. Not so sure I can find a little dot to put there. I'll put that like so. Okay, so we have figured out the formula for our hydrate. Almost forgot the 2. That would have been terrible. Okay, so BaI2, 2H2O. Now we have to name it. Barium iodide, dihydrate. Prefix for the 2 waters is di, and hydrate for our water. Okay, so that's the name and the formula that we were after, as if we did this in the laboratory. Okay, so you will have one problem to do for homework on a worksheet. So good luck with that. Don't forget, I've still got office hours if you need some help.